Congratulations, parents, on raising terrific kids. And thank you for lending them to us for 3 years. They have enriched my life, and I know we hope that we have enriched theirs. I can call myself a member of the class of 2014 because I'm leaving IMSA and the teaching profession, which I entered in 1966. Retiring means you finally have to clean your office. And I'm discovering things I've saved for whatever reason. Here's one from my then 4-year-old grandson who is living in California. In creative spelling, I really miss you, Grandma. Doesn't that make me sound almost human? Oh, there's some of my students back there. Shut up. On another note, something I wrote and pinned to my bulletin board years ago by Heinrich Heine. One should forgive one's enemies, but not before they are hanged. What kind of person keeps a thing like that? I would put on board. Retiring also means I'll have time to consider the larger questions of life, such as, what is it that people do on weekends who don't have papers to grade? Retiring after so many years might suggest that some profound wisdom has been acquired, something deep or deepish. Well, no. When I started teaching at 21, I knew everything 21-year-olds do. Now that I'm almost 70, I realize that the things we are most sure of are often the things we are most wrong about. So there's been a net loss in my knowledge column. The end of a career is like the end of a play. The actor exits, the stage is bare, and there is nothing left, except possibly some words that linger in the mind, or the heart, or the gut. At this end of my career, it is odd and slightly embarrassing to realize that for 48 years, somebody or other has paid me to do nothing but talk. I have no real skills. I can't make a toaster. I can't re-roof the garage. I can't change a tire. But I've made a living out of words. So with a certain sense of guilt for having enjoyed my skill-less career so much, I feel compelled to advocate for the value of words. I've always loved them. I love to play with them, juggle them, dance with them, turn them upside down, sometimes turn them into pins to stick in your voodoo dolls, 14. In class, words have made us laugh. Oh, they have made us laugh. They've made us proud to be human. They've made us yearn for something transcendent. And they've terrified us, as in, may I see you after class? I'm gonna miss that. I've always enjoyed hunting down the precise word to describe you in a letter of recommendation to a college admissions committee. When you've gotten yourselves all tangled up academically and I've called a meeting with you, I try very hard to decide if you are one who needs the soft word or the fierce word. Sometimes I've guessed wrong, for which I apologize. But I do love words. You, on the other hand, 14s, with your little thumbs, are compressing all the glory of the English language into grunts and squeaks and hieroglyphs that must be similar to the noises and signs we made when we lived in caves. You are the first generation which has taken as its mission the deflation of language. If it can't be texted or tweeted at the speed of light, it's probably too much trouble. In the 1500 years that English has existed, it has grown to over 1 million words, the most supple and versatile language on earth. And you're vigorously reversing the trend. Words can swim like dolphins with power and grace. Words can hit you over the head like a rubber mallet. Words can echo in our soul with heartbreaking beauty. Words can tell of our yearning and our loneliness. They can stir the blood and make us brave. And you're strangling them to death. When we need another Lincoln to appeal to the better angels of our nature, or another Churchill to throw a challenge at a foe, we shall fight them on the beaches, we shall fight them on the landing grounds, we shall fight them in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight them in the hills, until in God's good time the new world with all its power and might shall step forth to the rescue and the liberation of the old. Text that, puppies. When we need a new Martin Luther King to remind us that the content of our character is indeed more important than the color of our skin, will you be ready? Or will you have traded your linguistic birthright for speed and ease? I've had this privilege before of talking to seniors and their families, and I've always had a story to tell. Something with a kind of cheesy, pompous moral, real graduation-y. But I couldn't find a story for you. And I realized that you are my story. Not just you 14s, but all of you seniors back to my first graduates in 1966. Those first seniors of mine are now in their middle 60s. But how nice for them that in my mind they will always be 18. All of the nearly 5,000 of you are poised on the rim of adulthood, filled with promise and energy, striking in your beauty and touching in your hopefulness. You'll hear people say, young people are so different than they were in my day. And you can say, because you are well educated, different from, not different than. And furthermore, no, you're not. Your dreams are the same as ever, to somehow do well and do good at the same time. Your fears are the same as ever, that there is no room for you in a scrambling world, that you will not find love that lasts. We who love you cannot give you a box labeled life, containing the answers to all the puzzles, and the Band-Aid for all the pain, and the eraser for all the mistakes. If we even could hand you a manual, then you'd be living our lives, not yours. Growing up, aging is like scaling a mountain. You climb from ledge to ledge, sometimes hanging on by your fingernails, often not able to see the top. And the higher you get, the more tired and breathless you become. But finally, the view is fantastic. Now it's time for me to cultivate my garden. Dr. Kiley caught the reference to Candide. Gardening is a lot of work with a lot of reward, just like teaching. One of the tasks in the garden is to cut back the old canes on the rose bush so the new canes can thrive. There are 2 new canes here, new to the teaching profession. My son Ben and his wife Jen, both teachers of science, I'm proud to say. It's good to know that I leave the profession I love in excellent hands. I love you 14s, and I'll see you in the morning.